Bum, bada, bum, 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 bum.
Ooh,
It's
yeah, welcome
the
Build Force.
yes, it's the Monsters Showdown BuildOff
Ah,
extravaganza. What do we call it?
play the
Celebration.
Godzilla theme.
Monsters.
Do do
Monsters.
do
Yeah.
do 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 do
Where's our
do
monster
do.
drinks? Yeah.
Oh no, we don't drink
No.
rubbish.
No, no, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we. Sorry, Monster. That's like anti media.
Yeah. Unless
Okay.
they sponsor us. Then
I'm actually
yes,
mad. No one did like a Monster Energy themed build.
I'm actually so happy that didn't happen.
Spoilers. Spoilers
Yeah,
of it not happening.
yeah, no, like the builds are so cool. So, here we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another build off celebration where we're going to look at. I'm calling it a build off celebration.
Yeah, it
Um,
is a celebration.
and we're going to look at some fantastic builds. But before I get to all of that, let's welcome Armor. Hello,
Hello,
Armor. Welcome
Hello,
it's
to the
me.
thing.
our guest judge.
Yes. So
Hmm.
three of us judged this or scored this, and of course it's Jeff. Say hello, Jeff, and myself, Paul
Hello.
from Gunpla SA, and we are very excited to get into all of this
Mm.
stuff because there is madness happening,
Yeah, this is
and
like I feel it's harder than the championship last year.
yeah,
Yeah.
in many ways it was. It's because of the definitive theme. I think that definitely makes a difference.
Mm.
But yeah, just quickly before we get into everything, how was your experience with scoring these kits? Before we talk about the actual kits in detail, what was your first impressions, guys?
Yeah, it was really impressive. Sorry, Alma. Yeah, you should have the
No.
first though.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say that, like, while I think that uh, Masters was actually pretty easy to put down some numbers on and
Mhm.
like to make judgment calls on, but basically everything in intermediate, I was really torn on. Like, I had to go back and forth so many times trying to work out, like, oh, is this good? Like, am I being unfair? Because like all of the entries were just so good. I was,
Mm.
yeah, I'm really sad that like we can't give prizes to more of them because they're all so amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Um,
but you know we do have like our judges spotlights, and also we've got a community voting as well. So yeah, hopefully there will be more people that wins. You know, or
Yeah,
gets
no,
yeah,
that's true.
recognition. Yeah.
yeah, that's the idea. Like, you know, the thing is, guys, we always say this, and I'm sorry if it sounds trite, but it's very true. Everybody who finished a kit is a winner,
Mm.
because finishing a kit is it's a victory. It's worth celebrating. It's an amazing thing, whether it's a masterpiece or just a build on the way to a masterpiece. It's still complete, and that's something to be proud of. And on top of that, having the sort of courage to enter a competition, knowing that your build is going to be discussed live, knowing that other people are going to see it, they're going to have an opinion. That's that's very brave. But
Mm.
I also want to remind people that your build is like a child in a weird way, you know, and this is how I refer to my own artwork. I do it the best I can. I put it out there into the world. I can't, you know, it's out there. It has to defend itself. So people can say whatever they want about it and all that, but I can't jump in there and defend it, you know. And if people think my artwork sucks or something, then they think my artwork sucks. It's got nothing to do with me, you know. And if
Mm.
it has something to do with me, then that's a whole different issue. And this is why we try to do the judging in the most anonymous way possible, so that we are looking purely at your work and not at you standing next to your work. And you know, I've seen this a few times in these celebrations where guys feel the need to explain stuff in their builds. You don't need to. Everything that you've needed to set in your build is in your build, and you have to have confidence that your build is doing that. And if you feel that you have to speak for it, it means that's a lesson that you have to learn for next time. Okay.
Mm.
But remember, if Jeff or Armor or myself say something like, "Oh, I didn't like this build, but I think it's got a great paint job. Don't now think that Armor or Jeff or myself hate you or dislike you. We just maybe didn't like this build, but we can appreciate its quality. So that's something just to take in mind. And I feel like this applies more to our younger builders. Okay. Not to single you guys out. Not all younger builders are like this, but typically I've found that from them. Okay, so cool.
Cool.
Just wanted to put that out there. Hey, No Sleep Shogun. And
Hey.
also worth mentioning quickly, just
No.
everybody in the chat, Jeff.
Hello.
I don't know if you can see everybody.
I
We got
can see the
Jacques,
chat.
Trax, Real Godfather,
Nice.
Sean Gun, Sengun or Sengun. I always want to say Sean Gun. Then there's Sunsky Nenpi, Tom Tom Stitch. Just doing the big shout out, Revan Mantra, Minis, Zenith. Ooh, I'm gonna go nuts after this thing, hearing myself. Zenith is in. Zenith is there. Xenu is here. Yeah. Really am gonna go crazy. Coffee God, Haddad. Wow. Tracks again. Warned Cord 1998. Oscar Lad is here, and of course, No Sleep Shogun just popped in now as well, and also OSK Kathy. Yeah. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yay. Hope we didn't miss anybody, but yeah, welcome guys. Get comfortable, get your drinks and popcorn ready.
Yes, and let's rock and roll.
Roll, yeah. Let's put it into a slideshow mode.
Yes. Okay. So I just want to okay, cool. Where's the button? So hoping I don't spoil anything. There we go. Okay, everybody can see what's going on. I can't see the chats anymore. So, because I'm full screen now.
It's okay. Let's focus on the builds. Yeah.
He's saying you can go nuts, chat.
Yeah, go nuts. I'm not going to moderate the chat, but I'm not going to be able to respond to it until. So, Jeff, keep an eye on those chats as well for us. Okay, my dude.
Yeah, I will try.
Thanks, man.
I'll try.
Okay, so we've broken this down into 3 categories. It's beginner, intermediate, and what we call master. Every one of these has got a different criteria for judging. Beginner builds, we don't care about things like seam lines.
Your build quality, yeah.
And yeah, your build quality and your seam line. We're a lot more lenient. Like, this is the category where we are the most lenient. That said, some people were like, hold my monster. I don't want to. I wanted to say hold my beer, but Anyway, so let's check it out. Jeff,
Sorry,
something
Paul,
you want to say?
regarding what you just mentioned. So yeah, there was one person's build that was really high quality, and yeah, we notified him that we're gonna push him to upgrade him to business class.
Oh,
to
shit.
intermediate. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
let's go.
yeah,
forward.
that's what happened. We had to push somebody up. So guys, actually, Jeff, thank you for bringing it up. Just so that everybody understands, we will only push you up a level. We'll never push you down. So if you're in masters and we're not going to go like, oh, this guy, and push you down. We won't do that, but we will push you up. Okay, and we will notify you. Well, notify you before we do that, just so you guys know. Okay. Okay, let's go. First one.
Hey.
And Jeff, you can share some comments first. Boom.
Cool. All right, yo, alien, it's a xenomorph. Yeah. So okay, let me just check my notes. Yeah, I said it's really well executed, solid build, and like very impressive base as well. For a beginner build, it's like I wasn't expecting a base of this level. Like I noticed you even put like some fluorescent paints, I believe. There's some black light in your photography. So I think I really like the overall look of your build. One thing I'll point out for like room for improvement, I would say posing could be like more like a xenomorph, so like
More
hunched near
menacing.
yeah,
Yeah.
hunch the back more forward, make it feel more animal-like, you know, so less standing upright feel. Because when you hunch over, there's a more fear and hunted or hunting mode kind of feel to it. So yeah, I would say that's like how you can take it to the next level. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that was
otherwise, yeah,
also
really
my
well done.
notes as well. Jeff,
Cool.
was there anything else, man, that you wanted to mention before we hand over to Alma?
No, I think yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, for me.
Cool.
Yeah, I want to say that I think that this build is really, really good. I mean, really pretty close to getting up to like intermediate level already. I mean, I understand. I mean, I I looked at it and I chatted to the other guys and I was like, "Isn't this an intermediate build?" And they said, "No, it's the builder's first time." So fair enough. But I mean, if you can do stuff like this, like definitely you can hang with intermediate people, and
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
amazing. Like and I'm only gonna like bring this one like tiny thing up. I don't want to nitpick a lot of stuff, but in this piece, like I can tell that you've struggled with the lighting because this is such a glossy kit, glossy finish. And yeah, you need to use more diffused lighting. I mean, yeah, I already mentioned fluorescent lighting and gloss builds are are not friends. But I mean, it's so good. Like the scratch building on this is just like excellent. It's exactly the sort of thing I wanted to see. So cool.
Yeah. This was the first image I opened. Like when I got the stack of images, because I will open up all the images, go through them, just briefly make my notes in my head, and then go back and score, right? This is the first one I saw, and this set the tone for the entire uh, build off for me for my scoring. I'm so sorry to the person who built this, but
Set a benchmark high.
it set a benchmark, and you set a very high benchmark. And also again, it's a beginner build. Uh, why didn't we push this to intermediate? Because you've heard from Jeff, you've heard from Alma that we think this is amazing. So some things that would have taken you to intermediate, and when you're ready to go to intermediate, this is what I'd like you to consider. Some strong washes, like your panel lining, that kind of stuff, just help bring out your details. Those, that I felt like that was missing, even though there's a little bit on the head. As Jeff mentioned, the posing, I think, while this kit is built nicely, the base is built well. Posing was considered to a degree, but you were still a bit scared of posing. That's an experience thing. And then, not just a small nitpick, but just be careful with your finishes on your paint, because those kind of things are going to be scored more harshly in intermediate. That said, love the scratch build on this, and thought the base was very inspired.
Yeah, the base is
Um,
crazy good.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and also the head, like
Hmm.
the head and the tail. I feel like when I saw this at first, my first thing was like, oh, he painted it. Wait, hold on, or they painted it. Yeah, so beautifully done.
Mm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Guys, if you see my phone in my hand, this is not me like thinking that I've got somebody else to chat. This is me checking my notes.
Are you checking the chat? Okay, your notes.
Yeah, I'm checking all my WhatsApps from everybody. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I got my basic notes out here. Cool. Okay. Let's move to the next one. So congratulations on this fantastic build, dear builder.
Yeah.
I still don't know who this is.
Yeah.
So Shiny Riolu. Take it away, Jeff.
Cool. All right. Cool. Let me check my notes. Okay. So yeah, congrats on entering your first like build off. Yeah, really cool of you to join in. I'll just recommend for painting the stickers on the forearm. I would say if you're going to get into painting on this build, I would say remove like perhaps you can keep the eye stickers, but like the forearm stickers, you can just remove them, clean them up, and then paint white over it. And then it's just the photography and also the base. Do consider them. Obviously you do need to build a base, and then photography. Try out different angles, try out different lightings, setups, and that can really like bring out your build. Otherwise, yeah, good stuff.
I wanted to jump in with Congratulations on doing your first build for the competition, and you did hand paint this. What I was very chuffed with was that you got even coverage on the whole model.
Mm.
Now I'm not seeing like severe like gaps or transparent areas, which is cool. I'll just say be careful with layering your paint because I can see the seam lines on the side of the kit. And while we're not penalizing seam lines, this is just a helpful hint for you as a builder. The paint was a bit thick, and that's probably why you struggled to close the body there properly. So just that's a result of thick paint. So just be careful with that on your model journey as you get better. Also, I agree with Jeff. Um, you don't have to use stickers. What you can do instead is trace those stickers or trace a shape like that out of some masking tape, and then dot the paint on. If you don't have an airbrush, you can just dot the paint on to try and get that kind of technique there. But really cool, congratulations, and you're on the journey now. And cool, I'm gonna
Yeah.
hand you over to Armor.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool for a first attempt. And I mean, there isn't like a lot to say. I mean, because it's such a simple model, but I mean, like, that's fine. I mean, it's nice. The edges are clean. You've got the like separation well, and like that's really important on a model that's as simple as this. So that's good. But I will say that like I'm not sure if like you just felt you didn't have enough time to do like a base or something, but that sort of stuff is really simple. And it's not something that you should be afraid of. I hear a lot of people like have sometimes having still grumbling about like whether or not they should do bases, and base does not need to take you very long.
Mm,
And you don't have to put a lot of effort into it. I know like we just like praise someone else having a really good base, but like it doesn't like you can just do something that's like very like workman-like, I suppose, and it'll just do the
Mm.
job. Um, and or even you can just make one that can like can put on different models in the future for posing them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, what the base will help is like gives a bit context to your build. Yeah.
Yeah. And also just it does help with photography as well if you want to have your dude flying. In this case, not the case,
Mm.
but for maybe for
Mm.
your future builds. Cool, but thank you for the Riolu. What it's Riolu or Riolu? Anyway,
Really? I'm not. Yeah,
it's
one of the Pokemon guys can let us know.
yeah, it's raccoon dog, whatever that is. Okay, and onto the next one. Okay, Calamari the Abyssal Siren.
Mm.
Armor, you can go first.
It's calamara, I think, not calamari, but
I said Calamara, but it might have come out as Calamari.
But now I'm craving some
doubt.
calamaris.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was cool. Like, I didn't realize like how much. I mean, I actually couldn't tell the kits that were used until I went back and like read the descriptions again.
Hmm.
But like, I think it's very cool. Like the overpainting is nice and like very consistent throughout, and that's good. And again, like I really like the base on this. It's like it actually like really fits with the rest of the model. Um, and like yeah, it gives it a sense of place. And the colors again are like fitting, so the same colors on the base or same tones in the base and on the model
Mm.
itself. It's great. I think that it's good.
Nice. Jeff, I'm gonna take this one and I'll hand it
Sure,
to
yeah.
you
Go
before
ahead.
we switch. Um, I like the story behind this. So when I say the story, like I feel like the setting came together quite well with the color scheme. The face, it was actually cool to see that you got away from trying to use the typical anime girl face and you went with a strong kind of gothic kind of creature of the deep kind of look with that, which
Mm.
I appreciated. And yeah, cool parts used for this. Great collection. And like what's happening on the head was a lot of fun as well for me. Yeah,
Mm.
so nice one on this. Um, just be careful with the thickness of paint. Uh, if you want to move into the more intermediate side of things, that's just something you need to get used to is consistency with your paint strokes. But I'm gonna hand over to Jeff.
Cool, yeah. So yeah, Builder, this is like a really cool paint job that you've done. The kit bashing is also very creative. And I would just say regarding the paint job, be careful of painting with solid black, especially if your background is like fully black. It's kind of harder to see like very darker black painted parts. Those are harder to see. And finally, I'll just say posing is something that you could think about more, where because at the moment it's a very static standing pose. So what you have done with your base is like it's under a water scenario. So, and especially with sirens and mermaid, that kind of thing, we kind of also looking at your reference images, like with mermaids and these water like beings, you want to pose them where they feel like they're swimming or floating in the water. So yeah, I would consider like putting it on action base and doing like a just floating pose. Yeah.
And as a pro tip to pretty much everybody, if you find that your base and stuff is giving you shininess, hit it with a matte coat. And this base is made out of polystyrene, so you want to be careful with something that's lacquer based. So use something water based. If you're scared of that, you can even use something like Mod Podge from like the craft stores and whatever's. You get like quite a matted Mod Podge for that. So something to try out maybe for future builds if you guys don't have airbrushes or scared of using aerosols. But it'll just help. It'll help neutralize the base more so that the details and stuff will pop out a little, so that the light's not reflecting. But that's not just for this build. That's for a few builds I've seen over the years doing this. Cool. On to the next one. Guys, are you ready?
Yeah.
Chat, are you ready? Boom.
Cool.
Intermediate categories. Okay, what's happening here? So these are slightly, this is the middleweight. What? A new type? Okay, so guys, this is, yeah, you tell me. Jeff, Armo, who wants to discuss first?
Armo, do you want to have a go?
Almost feel like this image, unfortunately, is like I'm seeing it's pretty blurry.
Yes, it is pretty
Maybe
blurry.
I think it might be my fault.
Okay,
yeah.
well,
Oh no, Jeff, you're going to low raise
My
jail
fault.
now.
just maybe skip to the next one and see if we can see. Like, I mean, I know it's not the full thing, but like maybe people get.
No, it's
Yeah,
just
it definitely is my fault. Whoops.
No. Okay, well.
Whoops. It's actually making me going through all the docs and then just to make sure if other images. Okay, so sorry about this builder. But yeah.
Okay, well,
that's
going
my
ahead on this
mistake.
one.
I should have double checked.
So I mean, I saw this, and I mean, maybe this was Jeff foreshadowing earlier, but like, I really respect this build, but also I really hate it. Like, I have a visceral, like, unpleasant feeling when I look at this build. I think it's what the builder was going for, and like, I totally like approve that like they've nailed it. It's really gross, but like awesome.
With the pipey things and
Yeah.
stuff.
So I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's not visible. Then all of the piping has been replaced with sort of like this organic, like looks like intestines, and there's like goo dripping out of all its vents.
Yeah, it's a goof from Nurgle.
Yeah, it's goof.
And
and it's
drooling as well. And
like
all that.
the thing we really can't see here is that the mono eye has been replaced with a eyeball.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's peeking out from under the visor.
See if I can try and get that for you somehow.
So sorry about this to the builder and to everybody that's viewing it.
We judged on much nicer images than this. We'll see them.
Sorry, guys, that's my mistake. With the export.
But like,
No, Jeff, it's all good.
Paul, you don't have local images on your computer for this build, do you?
Dude, I do, but we're not going to go through that now. Sorry, guys. On this take, you're just not going to see the high res, but we will release the images anyway. So
yes, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I'm spinning plates at the moment. So cool.
Armo, is that you?
So
yeah,
basically,
no, I mean,
it just grossed you out.
I think. Okay. As I said, I love it and I hate it. It's so good.
Okay. Jeff, I will leave you for the final word on this one. But for me, my notes were, firstly, I love the panel lining on this. A lot of you guys out there right now in the show. You guys can't see that. I'm going to try and do my best here to show. But look at the panel lines on this leg. It's really, really great to see that. I thought some of the design was cool. What I also appreciated here is that the panel lining was asymmetrical. So instead of the builder trying to make it symmetrical on both sides, they try to, at least I feel this was the intention, they tried to create a sense of chaos by making it asymmetrical, which I really appreciated. The gooey, nasty pipes, yeah, that that definitely gave it this feeling that it was being infected. Um, and so I appreciate that the builder tried to give us a bit of a kind of a parasitic feel to this, which was quite nice. Um, yeah, and those are my two major points. I really enjoyed the base as well. I just feel like the kit needs to be maneuvered a little bit on the base a bit more. Like we said with the Bobatos, with the Xenomorph, try to get a bit more of a menacing pose. High, tall poses like that sometimes don't always lend themselves well to menacing. And don't be scared for your money shots to use more shadow. Like, bring in more darkness for your scariness. But that's all I want to say. Jeff, what are
Yeah.
your thoughts?
Cool. So yeah, my notes. Yeah, so it's a very cool looking build. For me, I think the narrative point is where I wanted to see like more out of. So like the base technically is a very cool looking. Like you bash some parts together. There's a bit of chaos, but like for me, it's like okay, what story is it actually telling here? I couldn't make out of it from the build itself. So what I feel like could help is that maybe if you have like another supporting actor that your main like actor, the goof custom here is like interacting with, so that we get a bit more context from it. Yeah.
Again, just reminding folks, the base has got a small score, and keeping the base simple is one thing, but it does help to tell your story. So if you can find ways to use your base to enhance your build, that's smart. Because while you'll get 5 out of 5 for the base, um, you will help the creativity score of your build.
Yeah.
Right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of like pillars where we score it, like they're not so much individual, they do help each other. Yeah.
Cool. Onto the armor. Oh yeah, you said this was gross, it freaked you out, and then you love it. Yes. Okay, sorry. It freaked Nide. Who wants to go first? Jeff, you take it away.
Cool. Right.
Because you're a Monster Hunter fan.
Yeah. Okay, let me just scroll to my notes here. Yeah, so first of all, this build, like, really great weathering and the paint job. It's a very refined weathering. It's I've seen where this builder started off with like the past build-offs. You've come a long way with your paint journey. So yeah, really well done on that. Regarding painting, I'll just say it's a bit of a shame. Like you have a reference of the Tigrex from Monster Hunter. Just the yellow that you've used is not like tying too much to the reference material. Like so, watch out for that. Especially if you have the name of the Tigrex in your title. Then we like the viewer will try and like make that association. So I'll just watch out for that color choice. We'd like to see a bit more involved with the base and posing more for context and storytelling. Yeah. But otherwise, it's a really well done, executed build.
Cool. I'm gonna go next, and then Armin, you can take us out. Okay. Um, so for me, I echo Jeff's sentiments. I also really appreciated the weathering. I actually love your color scheme, but sadly, it does miss the Tigrex, comparison. But it does have a tiger-like feel, which I thought was cool. So there's that, and I really dig that. I do feel that it could have used a bit more contrast, so in the form of a wash and some panel lining just to help bring out some of the details that are recessed a little bit. And also, while I thought your photographs were great, it was difficult. I didn't think your choice of money shot was a good one. I didn't feel like it really
The
helped your
focus.
build out a lot. So I'm just going to show this page here so everybody can see the full build here and actually see how great he actually is. So we've got a lot of weapons. You've got a lot of like stuff happening. You've got the sexy base that's going on, and we don't get to see that in the money shot. So I think when people see that, they're not going to fully appreciate your build. So that's just something, that's just a bit of an instinct that you get, um, with your stuff. Like you did fill the frame, and that's cool. But just think of ways that maybe it can describe your scene more.
Show off a little bit more.
Something that I want to say before I hand over to Armor, and the last thing was the weapons. So I'm not speaking to this builder in particular. I'm gonna speak to all builders. Be careful with putting too many weapons in the hands of your kits. There's nothing wrong with having both hands occupied, but make sure that it makes sense. Having a giant baz on your shoulder like this one and a sword, it does feel a bit clumsy. It feels a bit overloaded. There's nothing wrong with finding a way to mount the baz on the background, the bazooka, and then to get a more action kind of pose because the bazooka looks cool. It also helps the silhouette, all those good things. I'm just sitting here going, wow, this dude's like he's half being able to use a sword and half being able to use a bazooka. Just a just a thing to keep in mind because I get it. You want to show that he's got these weapons. So that was just something that was maybe a personal pet peeve for me, but yeah. And then also you are in intermediates, so this is a rule of thumb for everybody. Make sure your paint coverage and that your paint is solid and not chipping off, and make sure that your mold lines and seam lines are taken care of if you do them. Okay. Um, you know, Again, I don't want to, attack this piece or make this builder feel like their piece is being attacked. So you need to take the advice where it applies for your build. But again, great weathering. Armor, take it away, dude.
Sorry, Alma, before you take it away. So,
Alright.
Paul, coming back to what you mentioned about the money shot and stuff, I think what's to me the trouble with the money shot is the focal point. Generally, when you're going this close, framing, the viewer wants to tends to drift towards the head or the eyes. In this case, your money shot, it's a bit blurred around the eyes or the head area. So I think what you can do in future is when you take your shots, review them in your computer. And if you feel like okay, you can do better, then retake the shots. Yeah, no need to rush on the photography to send it through. Yeah.
Sweet. And actually, something I just saw in my notes now, thank you, Jeff, is I do like the energy in your shots. So please don't feel that there's something wrong there. You just have to figure out how to navigate around that. Listen to like based on what Jeff said as well. Okay. Armor,
Yeah.
tell us how you feel.
I actually kind of really like this one.
Mm,
I think that it's a clever use of the theming. I like the fact that it's it's very
monster
much taking
coded.
what is the taking the sort of militaristic, but then tying it back to using Monster Hunter as both an inspiration for the color scheme, but also the loadout on this guy. He's covered in knives. That's cool. It's something you see on mobile suits. That's really cool. I sort of think that the weathering on this is really cool. There's a lot and it's good. It's not too much, which is often really easy to do. So I quite like this one.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Tigrex thing is like a division, like a special. It's like a Tigrex division. They have this armor. It's in GI Joe we have a sub team called Tiger Force, for example. Where they have like tiger stripe stuff, and yeah, it's like a special forces that's based around the Tigrex. So that's how I felt for this when I looked at it as well. Cool. Let's get into the next one. Chats, are you good over there? Is everybody happy there?
Oh, ooh,
Looks like it.
very powerful.
Most powerful robot in the world. I think I'll go first this time. Okay, so it took me a minute to click because at first I couldn't see past it being an Evangelion or an Ava. Okay,
Mm.
so that was a thing, but I did notice the horns, and then and I was like, okay, there is something a little bit like quote unquote kind of heavier here, and in the board itself, there's a head on the ground, and there's a lot of despair and anger. Like this pose for me also works for Evangelion. So I initially thought, okay, this was an Evangelion feel, that the boulder was really leaning into that, but that's not the story based on the description. So taking that into account, I still think the pose was very strong. I like the sort of emotion that's carried. I love the powerful red in the background, which is also a great thing from Evangelion. The boulder's referencing Pluto, by the way, if anybody's not sure. I did feel that the bass came across quite strong. Like, look at these juicy little details. But the one thing I wanted to mention that I thought was important was dark feeling, despair, anger, rage in this piece. But then we got bright green grass in the background. So, remember that with the narrative, because that bright green grass is kind of, it's like, it feels like it feels like people on a film set that are kind of going, what's happening here? And everybody behind the camera is like, get out the shot, kind of thing. So that was the vibe that I got. So what you need to do to fix that is maybe just tint it quite a bit with something dark. I don't want to say Nuln Oil, but you could use something like Nuln Oil just to like harmonize it. Otherwise, I really like this piece. Um, Jeff, I think has some technical things that he wants to mention as well, because I do too, but I don't want to take the mic from Jeff for too long. So,
Yeah, cool.
Jeff, take it away. Armor,
Okay.
you'll close this out.
Cool.
Cool. So yeah, first of all, it's a very impactful post, so that's all really awesome. Then when it comes to like build quality, I would just say the horns modification that you've done, just watch out for that. Like I would say, try and refine it a little bit more. And
Mm-hmm.
because at the moment they feel like the two sides is not um, like symmetrical kind of
Mm,
thing. Because looking at the reference for Pluto, like his horns are symmetrical, right? So
mm,
not sure why it's asymmetrical here. Not sure what the reason behind it is. Um, and then just watch out for seams, obviously. And also the biggest thing is the paint chipping. So I think I noticed like more paint chipping on the heel. I could see like the yellow or
from the
orange
heel,
heels.
yeah.
Yeah. And also just the base. Yeah, I would say that grass was a bit like shifting my focal point to the grass, which I don't think that's your intention, because everything, if like your build and your base is generally quite dark, and then you have that green. It's like okay, now my eyes is like shifting to the green now. So yeah, watch out for that.
Yeah, I guess I'll pick this up. I actually really like this piece. I think that it's like just really well like chosen and
Mm,
like conceived.
Mm.
Like I think that some of the weathering is much more sort of like intentional. I'm not sure if that was the. I mean, I'd love to chat to the builder and like try to work out like if because it seems to me like this is quite intentional. Like and just the composition and everything is good.
mm.
Man, it's just great. Again, I say that I really like it. I say that about the previous three things, but the truth is that I actually like most of these builds. This one, and it, yeah, super on theme, really good.
Yeah, I like them too, man. I I feel like it's a good. You gave me a good point to mention this. This build is one of those where if it's displayed at one of our exhibitions for an event, it's going to look great, by itself. It's gonna, it's it it's composed well, you know.
Mm.
Um, and I'll say the same thing about the Tigrex. I'll say the same about the Xenomorph, and for the Siren. Though they stand really well, but on their own,
Mm.
which is
Yeah,
cool.
very
But
unique.
they work well when shot nicely. I think the paint rubbing. I don't want to again, Boulder. This is not necessarily directed at you, but sometimes that happens, guys, when you don't do a light sand on the kit, or if you don't give it a bit of a bath before you put on your primer. Because yeah,
The base
sometimes oils
oils
from
and stuff.
building, yeah, resists the paint. Or sometimes if you're using an acrylic paint, it doesn't bite into the plastic quite the way you want to. So a light 1000 grit sand will give it enough bite there for some of your Vallejo stuff, or less harsh paints. Cool. But thank you, Builder. This one, it does have an emotionally powerful impact, so I appreciated that. Cool. Jeff, you can start.
Yo, this is very scary. When I saw this, like, yo, I was like really creeped out. But yeah, so let me just check my notes. Yeah, fantastic build that conveys the build off steam. Um, the weathering, I feel it's a bit like too uniform across the kit. I would like to see like more contrasting areas, like maybe by the rib cage can have more gory kind of like uh, painting, and the limbs that could have like less those brown edging and stuff. Just try and think about like create a focal point. Where if you treat the whole kit with like same similar technique, all this equal um, across, then it's harder to zone in, if you get what I'm saying. Um, I would like to see more like drills in between the teeth, because like what you've done is there's like droplets coming from the teeth, but
Oh, the
you've seen
jewels.
like those
Yeah.
like I'm thinking like xenomorph, when he opens his mouth, you'll see like there will be like strings of drills
Yeah,
in
it
like.
coils. Mm.
Hmm?
Mm.
Oh, sorry, what'd you say?
No, it coils. It's like
Coils.
it's a whole thing. Don't worry. You carry on.
Yeah. So like I would like to see the drills connecting between the teeth. That would be like really nice thin ones. That would be really like uh, even more scary. I really like the LED that you've done for the eyes, and creates a nice focal point as well. Then lastly, when it comes to the base, I feel that the floor of the base is like it's quite weathered. And then when I see the walls of the base, like from the inside perspective, it felt a bit too clean. Like I would imagine like, oh, there should be some like splatter effects or something, and there's no kind of clear plastic for the panels, right? It's a total illusion, right? So I kind of feel like it should have some kind of clear glass, or like not glass, use plastic to simulate glass, and have some like small splatters, because you've done big splatters of the green and the brown patches. I feel like I would like to see like smaller, more fine splatters from the inside perspective, just to create a sense of like horror energy to it. Yeah, that's my thinking.
Cool, man. I'll take it. Armin, you can close us out. No
Sure.
pressure. um, I love how nasty this is with the drool and the gore in the mouth with the tongue, and I'm gonna show you guys this on the next image. Just want to zoom in here. I mean, look at what's going on there. It's
Mm,
very tasty
yeah.
and very nasty, and I love it. Also like the kind of fleshy feel to this, like the surface of this guy. So it's meant to feel like some kind of stuck together mutated horse of the devil or something. Like it's got that vibe. So it's got an experiment vibe going for it. The reason I brought us back to the money shot is I actually thought this money shot was quite cheeky because it kind of feels like a security camera that's watching, not kind of, very much feels like a security camera watching the specimen in its
Mm.
enclosure. And we got all the lights coming from the back, and it's all shadow in the front. And the builder was really like, I want to tell the story with this as much as possible with the money shot. So I'm going to take some risks. And I really appreciated that. And also, you fooled me with the splats. For like a good minute or two, you totally fooled me with the splats. And when I say the splats, I don't mean what happens if I eat something bad. I'm talking about the three-dimensional effect that's created here with having no glass, but it feels like there was glass. So that's very impressive. Like I thoroughly enjoyed this build. Can you tell? Armor, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think that the base being a box, which is the like enclosure, is just like total genius level stuff. Like it's really smart. Like you have your whole build is now enclosed in a thing. Um, I disagree about the like plastic thing, the plastic sides. I think that like it's so difficult to keep plastic looking nice and just not having any. It just makes it actually easier and looks good by itself. So that doesn't bother me so much. And I mean, the blending on whatever this kit was and the organic parts is just like super well done. I couldn't see any like things. I'm not sure where you got the parts from. I presume maybe they're 3D printed or something because like yeah, it's horrible and messed up, man. It's really good. And the last thing is that I think that maybe this has come from like a Warhammer painting background, but I think that this paint, I really appreciate the paint job that has been done on this. Actually, I think that it's really consistent, and like all the like edges really like draw attention to things. It's quite a comic book style, which I think looks great for the piece. I mean, it's not realistic, but that's okay. Like I think that it works for this thing, and yeah, I mean, I know that the money shot is really good. I agree, but that shot with the red lighting is also like top notch, like
Yeah,
so good.
This one,
creates
yeah.
a good mood. Yeah.
Yeah. This is, I think, 30-minute fantasy horse or something like that.
It's the SDW chibi horse.
Oh yes, there we go. Yeah. That makes it even more impressive, must be honest. Because like I mean and also like quite cost effective as well. So just putting that out there. Cool. Alma, sorry, was there something else you wanted to
No,
say?
no, that's all from me. It's sick.
Look at that.
Positive commentation.
Bah.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing this in person.
Yeah, me too. In fact, all of these builds so far. White
Oh.
You
Devil.
did the thing. Good job.
You
Yeah.
did it.
Jeff, you take it away. I think
Cool.
I'll
All right,
save
let me
myself for last
check my notes.
on this one.
Okay, so really impressive photography. Yeah, to recreate that mood from the series. You know, it's that this thing, even though it's not a monster, it's portrayed as a monster. You know, something to be feared from the opponents. Areas for growth, I would say, is the kid's paint job and the base. Have them be able to like do what you can regarding your paint job and your bait execution and still create that mood without having your lighting set up for these money shots is I would say that's the my point. Yeah, my notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise really good build.
Yeah, I don't want to nitpick on this. I mean, I think that you've done so well to like literally replicate the frame. The rest of the build is also really nice. I mean, you can't see it in this image, but it's very clean. The painting's all nice and good. Yeah, I mean, it is just a clean build. I think there's not much there's not much detailing and stuff on it, which is fine for like the shot that you wanted, and you got the shot. Absolutely did that. And as you can see, like the base itself is pretty simple, which I mean is both. I mean, you've done exactly what you wanted to get the effect, and I really like that smoke effect. Actually, that's also the standout item.
With the chicken wire.
Um, yeah, it's
Cool,
awesome.
Alma. Was there anything else you wanted to add, my dude?
Not really. I mean, there's not much more to say, but it's a really cool build and it's a really amazing effect.
Sweet. I'm gonna take us back to the money shot. So I absolutely loved this. And I don't want to say too much, but in terms of money shots, I think this is one of the best money shots we've had in a build off ever. Mostly because, yes, I know the builder's copying a scene from the show, but they also did that. They did it well. They did it with their own touch. And I haven't really seen many other builders do that kind of thing. And it's advice that, for example, Jeff and I always give, because it's advice that we give to ourselves, is the first poses you should be copying are from the manual and from the sides of the box. And this is copying a pose in a moment from the anime, and or from, I'm gonna call it an anime even though it's a CG thing. Um, Copying a pose from an anime is actually pretty smart if you nail it right. Now, there's a whole different angle here. I know we can, we've discussed how simply it's painted and all that, and I like that everything about this was purpose built for its money shot. Okay, so while I don't think that this kit, and sorry, Boulder, I hope I'm not hurting your feelings by saying this. While I don't feel this kit is going to be as outstanding outside of its money shot as it is in the photography, I think there's a lot to take from this, guys. I mean, a lot of us enjoy toy photography and model photography. Sometimes, building the kit is all about getting that cool shot, and I've seen this a lot on Instagram. And this shows you how little you need to actually do to get that right. And also, again, dear builder, I'm not trying to minimize your stuff. This little hut was not like, or this warehouse was not like a simple thing to do, but it was definitely simpler than some crazy, super high detailed thing. Everything works here to make a good silhouette and to make a good money shot. And also, I find it quite ballsy, actually, like that the builder went full in on the photography. And yeah, and I think there's a lot that can be taken from this for us as builders, you know, not to sometimes overthink stuff, but to have a purpose. Like, oh, I'm gonna aim my stuff purely for photography and paint it silver so that it reflects light in a specific way. Anyway, nice one.
Yeah.
Love this kit. Love this money shot. I actually want this as a wallpaper on my computer for a bit. So
Yes.
yeah,
I think before we move on to the next build, I just want to come back to, when it comes to photography and lighting that you setting up, like especially for your money shot, like what I think of light as your paintbrushes. Um, so it doesn't mean like, oh, in your money shot, it needs to be like super well lit and we need to see all the details. Because remember, when we judge your build quality and your paint job, we're going to look at, and everything else as well, like your base and all that, we're going to look at your turnarounds. So you can, in your money shot, you can like play around
go
with
boss.
composition, play around with lighting, play around with like camera settings and all that. Get creative and just think about the end mood that you want to create and see what like you can do with those tools to create that mood that you want to convey.
Yeah, exactly that. Thank you, Jeff. That is solid advice. And again, guys, simple shapes for your photography. Okay.
And have reference pictures of what emotions you want to create. Like, it's great that he pulled straight from a series. So, and he's okay, cool. Then he's got a guidebook for him to say, okay, how can I set up my light based on references? Yeah.
Yeah, still like an artist. Here's the original shot, everybody, if you guys are interested. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, moving on. Boom.
Oh, I want to go
Nightmare of
first.
Xeon. Who's going first?
I want to go first. It's so
Go for
good.
it.
Ah, man, this is like possibly
Stuff of
like the piece
nightmares.
which like gives me the most heart pain in this whole like thing, because like, oh, it's so cool. It's like you've put just, I mean, it kind of feels like you just stream of consciousness this build, and just added stuff. And I mean, so it really makes sense when you can see some of the like reference images. If you wouldn't mind quickly jumping ahead.
With pleasure. There we go.
So, oh man, okay, there's a reference, the leftmost reference,
The manga panel. This
yeah,
one.
I mean, it's really hitting up that like, what are you like interacting with? It's just like a nightmarish, horrible thing, like all the like things you can think of. and just like you've really just put that into the model, and then just also then just gone and stream of consciousness the like paint job as well, really striking colors. Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah, I just want to show peeps the details here as you're talking, Armor. Is there
Yeah,
anything else you wanted to add, bud?
I mean, look, I mean, so yeah, I mean, I don't want to start making because like I could go on all day, and I really don't want to do that for this kit because like I think that like it's one of like the most to be like the most like art like pretentious about it. Like there's probably like one of the best like artworks in this entire competition. Like
I agree.
I definitely it's got feelings in it. I really appreciate it. And like if I could have just only marked on feelings, then like this would have been my top one. But like, man, I mean, look at this. Like look at the horrible like the messed up hips and like this like kind of bones around the like torso and the like yeah exposed wiring coming out all over the place.
Ribs on the legs.
Yeah, there's stuff. There's like
Bit of a
skulls on it.
skull there.
Yeah, I mean you've got another reference pick there from 2000 AD. I don't recognize the exact comic, but like yeah, it's got super those vibes. Just killer 80s nightmare weirdness.
Yeah, this build definitely stands out for having
Yeah.
a very expressionist quality to it. And I'm happy to see stuff like this come out of this specific build off. It's not the first one. Uh, the most powerful robot in the world, the Evangelion build, like that also has a strong emotional, you know, portion to it or thing, side to it. So yeah, I'm totally feeling you on this, Armor. I liked a lot of. There's some technical things that made this very difficult to score, but on an emotional level and on a, I really appreciate the artistic side of this level. This guy rocked in a big way. Jeff?
Yeah, cool. Right. So yeah, really, really impressed with this builder as well. Like, cause like I think this is the first one where it's like it's not like based on reality. This is like the fear and the nightmare stuff, you know. So it's really cool. It's like it's a physical model that you know that you created, but it's like based on you know soldiers' nightmares and stuff. Okay, so some of the points I had is like oh yeah, it's a stuff of nightmares. Love the colors and the build. Would like to see the sharper points to be sharper to enhance the terror feeling aspect.
Yeah.
You know, all those like skeleton claws and things, they feel a bit, just a little bit blobby. So I feel like more kind of extreme sharpness or it's adds to that horror feeling. Be mindful about not letting press stick under the foot show. That kind of distracts away from the build. What you can also do is like paint the press stick, paint it black, and then you know so it's less visible. Or you can like just create a rod through the foot. Then you know that will be less visible as well, and you can paint the rod black. Keen to see more high contrast in photos without seeing the background. Oh yeah, so your money shots you have this backdrop, but I don't know if it's a black backdrop or a gray backdrop. A lot of the money shots, we can still see the backdrop, and I feel like that kind of takes it out of like the emotive feeling, the mood of it.
I also experienced that.
Yeah, so concerned about that. Okay, yeah, because yeah, if the backdrop is purely black, like looking into the void, then like we are just like focusing on this image, this horror image, nightmare image that you've created, you know. So yeah, consider that. One last thing is I love your concept, but I feel like what would enhance your story of this concept even more is like imagine on the space that you've built. In like the foreground part, you have like a little like soldier like sleeping on a bed, like restless, and it's almost like we looking at the soldier and it's like, oh, we are what we're seeing here of it's basically we're seeing his nightmare. And we have that context like, oh, this thing's actually not grounded in reality. This thing is in his like, nightmare. So yeah, because I think you have that in your story. So we just want to see that portrayed visually. Yeah.
Well, Jeff wants
That's
to
just
see
all.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, for me, it was pretty, like, and this is the thing, different people gonna see things differently. I thought the abstract dream or nightmare-like quality came across quite well.
Hmm.
My only notes were the same as Jeff's now, just contrast for your money shot. Also, another one of those kits where when we have it at an exhibition or when you bring it to Bold Meet, it's definitely gonna grab some attention, and it stands very nicely by itself. And yeah, I think I now just realized who did this. And please don't do anything after it. It's perfect. It's finished. It's complete. Don't touch it. It's done. It's complete. Move on to your next one. Like, that's a special message from me to the builder, because they did something well last time and then they fixed it into oblivion. Okay, on to the next one. Boom. What is going on here? Jeff, I'll take this one first.
Sure.
Okay. So I really appreciate this. I'm a big fan of, I'm going to call it Japanese mythology and Japanese folklore. So seeing like this fight against the yokai, and in this case, Nure Onna. Sorry, I'm hearing myself in my head, so it's a bit like weird. So I hope my pronunciation is okay, like calamari earlier. Anyway, um, I really like this build. There is a very there's a type of like old 80s Japanese films, like Japanese horror films, and some of the like I'd say films that deal with like scary elements that have like onmyoji and stuff in. They do use this kind of cinematic feel. Now, I don't know if the builder is a fan of those kind of films. Maybe, maybe they stumbled onto that kind of reference as they were like coming up with the idea. But this shot, this money shot in particular, with this with a little bit of mist here, very clean background. Literally, if this shot was black and white, I would feel like you were doing an homage to 70s Japanese horror film, because I love this. I love this a lot. Um, I especially like how you did the Nureona, uh, and you definitely went for a very traditional look. Look at this face. It's so right. It's it's great. I really enjoyed this. I don't want to glaze it too much. There are some things that I want to mention. Uh, I do think just for the drama of this piece and also to help you hide your clear rods here, you could have, should have, whatever's right. But I think it would have looked good if there was some spears and things in the battleground, like just to help create just another layer. Um, I just feel like that could have given it a bit of the Neo Onimusha kind of vibe as well. So that's all I wanted to say here. Who wants to go next?
Oh, I can. Oh, sorry, Ahmed, did you want to go?
Oh, I mean, I was just going to say I can be pretty quick because I don't have a lot to say about this one. I think that it's a super cool. It's interesting to see. Yeah, it's a really nice and clean build. All of the like panel lining is like really neat, and that's like looks great. And the whoever you are builder, like you're really good at the photographs, which I can really appreciate. I'm not sure if you like a lot of this is in focus, which is like really impressive. I'm not sure if it's maybe you've got like an actual like DSLR and that's how you're getting it done. But like otherwise, just make sure that you can get like a good picture of like the whole thing. I mean, I think that's why this
Mm,
money shot works so well is that the whole thing is in focus, right? You can see everything, and you've done really well. Like I mean, obviously you've used the extra effects of the smoke, like it was already mentioned. Like that's really cool. It all works nicely. nailed the photo. I mean, in fact, that is actually true of quite a lot of the entries that, like, I mean, obviously the White Devil one was, the photography was like outstanding, but in general, I would say, like, for model building competitions, I think that, like, our community is pretty good at, like, taking photographs of stuff, which is good.
Thank you for saying so. Because I'm scared of saying that. So yeah.
No, it's great.
Cool. Anything else? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So again, my comment for this is also, it's really, really cool that you set up the scene between the battle between the yokai and the Gundam. First thing I would say, watch out for your paint. I think some of the gold was fading. I don't know if it's like rubbing off or just like not enough layers. So watch out for that. Then my big comment is like, okay, in your description, you said it's like yokai, it's kaiju sized. However, I couldn't see too much of that from just looking at the build. Like I think the scale of the grass feels a bit too big. So it's almost like it's human size, feels like it. So if you want to create that illusion that this is like kaiju sized, then consider on your base, have some like scale elements. So like having a small tree or like a mountain or hill, some kind of cliffs, or even like a stream or a river kind of thing. Or even like other human beings or something, just to give it more context, saying, okay, this is the size that you want, that you intended for. Yeah. So yeah, that's the last thing. Ooh,
Cool.
otherwise, well done.
Yeah, very cool. You didn't say so, but I feel like the samurai, the mobile suit is a little bit based on the Genji. But yeah, anyway. Um, cool. This is actually one of my favorite builds in this BuildOff. So we're gonna find out. Does it make a spotlight? Doesn't it? Ooh. Anyway, let's check on the next one. Ba-ba.
Oh.
You see, this has been lying in wait for us.
Oh my god, this piece.
Armor's going first.
It's once again, like, goddamn, like, this is just so good. Like, there's so many things about this which is like really good, and like, this is one of those pieces which I looked at and I was like, oh, this is a master's piece, clearly, like, obviously, like, based on what it's done. But no, I mean, it's an intermediate, and like, that's where the builder is at in their journey, and that they're putting out stuff like this is, sorry to swear, but it's fucking nuts, actually. Like, this is crazy good. The texturing on everything is just really consistent. It's good. The extra more like moss isn't, there's a little bit of like variation in it, so it doesn't look unnatural. It's not overdone, so it doesn't look unnatural. Like, that stuff's so easy to screw up. Like, and given that this is such a not the standard sort of technique you do on a model, like, it's really, really good. I'm not sure if you just like found some really good tutorials or really good references or all the above, but like, man, just absolutely nailed it. This shot doesn't show it, but the eyes are red, and there's only a couple of tiny little red details, and those really like work to like break up the otherwise completely monochrome surface. But I mean, like,
Creates a good focal point.
but monochrome is the entire point of this. Like, it is a gargoyle on a rock. Like, that's, like, it's right, actually. Like, that's so good. And I mean, the like pose is also really good. Like, it's excellently placed. Yeah, I don't know. I can't like put enough like praise on it, I guess. It's just it's just a really good piece.
No, it's great to hear your excitement. I feel like Jeff wants to say something now. He's like
Cool.
also
All right. Sweet.
chomping at the bit.
Cool. Yeah. So I said, brilliant build, really well executed. I would say, okay, now I'm giving you like things to think about now. It's just, it's a bit of a shame that the tail with the blood is not in the frame for your money shot. Because like in your story, you talk about like, oh, there's a drop of blood and stuff. It's only in the other like shots that I could see, oh, the tail with the blood is like, it's such strong key part in your narrative, and such a shame that couldn't see it in your money shot. So think like I think consider this when you take your photos and how you choose your money shot is like, okay, does it convey the story? So think about that. The white balance on your money shot is also different from your other photos. So I think this goes to like not just for you, but also to other builders out there. When you're taking your photos, in your dressed up shots, and even for your turnarounds, I'll try and keep your white balance the same or consistent, so that you don't have different. Because when you have your different white balance, it creates different mood. Like in this case, your money shot is very cold, which works really well, I feel, compared to the other warmer shots. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, or you good?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, so we've been talking about the texture, we've spoken about the money shots, we've spoken about the moss, but we haven't discussed how great this kit bash is. We've got a lot of different, not a lot, but some clever use of parts. The Wing Zero, we got, looks like the Vidar, and I think there's, for that chest, I want to say
It's an
it's kind of
aerial,
an
I think.
astray.
Yeah.
So beautiful, like parts that come together that just make a great whole. The tail looked fantastic. This is a really great. This was a fun build to score because it gave us a lot of eye candy, and I'm sure a lot of people know in the chats, because I can't see the chats right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys are also like, "Holy hell, this is amazing!" Um, and for the builder as well, yeah, nice one. If you're in the chats, this is really cool. It's got us all excited. I like the weapon here as well. Um, Also, as I move on to the next thing, I like. I know Jeff mentioned the white balance, and that is something you guys need to be cognizant of when you like if you want to have a warm or a cool shot. But I do like that it feels a bit Shadow of the Colossus with these shots here with the gray background. There's just something about that. It's got that Ico Shadow of the Colossus color feel there. I'm very excited to see this in person as well. Um, in fact, I'm excited to see a lot of these kits in person, all of them. But this one, I really want to look at it closer in natural light. So yeah, cool. Anybody else?
Yeah. All
On
good.
to the next one. Boom. Punchable remoras. Hope I'm saying that correctly. But Armor's gonna correct me.
It's a. Oh, yeah. It is Ramirez, huh? I always thought it was Remoraz, but I hadn't like read back. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, that seems right.
So what are your
I mean,
thoughts, man?
oh yeah. I mean, well, okay. First of all, it's a made-up like D&D word. I don't think the
You
pronunciation is
so
not
hung up
important.
on that.
What do I think about this build? I thought this build was really like fun. Actually, like it's a clever use of like a relatively like simple model. Um, and a D&D miniature, and this poor Bugs being punched in the back of the head, very mean. But like the painting is really cool. Like I mean, basically like like standout part of this kit, this build is like the painting on both the mobile suit and the like monster itself. The base is also very nice. Like it all ties together like really well. And yeah, I mean, I don't have like lots and lots to say about this one because I mean, I think it is a bit of a like simpler build, I would like to say, but like in terms of like just imagination and like the color choices are really nice. Like it's bright and pops. I think that like this build is going to go pretty far if they want to keep like working at like
Mm.
raising their like technical proficiency at things.
I think it's always difficult to take two miniature subjects which are designed not to be articulated and kit bash them together. I see it in the wargaming space a lot, in the miniature space a lot. guys do amazing work with that, and they're cutting off limbs and they using putty to add bends, and it gets really like intense. I feel like those are the next stages for this builder in their journey because I love the paint job and I think the base is outstanding. I really want to see that base in person, and I'd love to talk to the builder about how that base is made because I think it's great. Unless, of course, it came with the Remoraz, but I do like it. It's really well painted. I just feel the Gundam is one of those where maybe a leg and arm could have been like sawed off and repositioned, and some of that could have happened. I definitely think it would have been worth doing that for the intermediate side of this competition. But yeah, a lot of fun. I had a good luck at this as well.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Like I was like, I love seeing like cute stuff beat up stuff. I'm just like that. Jeff?
Yeah. Cool. So first of all, I really like when I saw this build immediately, I just felt like, okay, this builder just had fun with this. So that's really awesome to see. The paint job is really awesome that you've done on the Remoraz. I hope I'm pronouncing it like okay. Now, when it comes to the Gundam unit, so that's a Converge figure, so which is like already kind of partially painted already. So I feel like it's a bit of a shame that the paint level, execution level doesn't feel like the same that you put in. So like on the Converge, there's a lot of like details that can be enhanced with even more like paint separations, like especially in the joints or the finer details. I would have loved to see that just to tie the two subjects together, you know. And then finally, the base is also very well done. The last thing I want to just uh, check in on is the posing. Looking at the Remoraz, it's already got like a twisting, like his head is already twisting to the left. I feel like, you know, it feels a bit more natural if you had a setup where like the Converge is using like a left hook punching the Remoraz, like it's already twisting to the left. So like use the miniatures pose to your advantage to think about how you would pose it. Because at the moment, if like the Gundam's punching downwards, then you know the pose will be like I feel should be a little bit different. Yeah. So but yeah, that's like very nitty gritty thing now. Yeah. But otherwise, well done.
Sweet. And that, I believe, is the last of the intermediate stuff. So that's going to bring us to
To
the drum
Mars.
roll.
So sure. Yo.
Oh, we're going to go straight into Masters. Okay, everybody, just stretch for a little, like 2 seconds. We have been here.
Yeah.
And thank you
Well
to
done to
everybody
all
in
the
the chat.
beginners and the intermediate guys.
Yes, and to the people in the chat for
Sure.
like being here, checking this out, sharing your comments. I believe they've all been wonderful because I haven't seen them. So, Jeff, can you concur? Have we had some excitement in the chats there?
I see Rivan and Zenu saying master.
Yes,
Yeah.
master. Okay, cool. Here we are in 2026, first BuildOff for the year, and we have now hit the master section. Not too many guys in the masters. This is gonna go quick, but yeah, we're gonna get punched in the face. It's gonna be great. Cool. Let's go. Boom. Marauder.
Cool.
So, who's going first?
Okay, I can go first. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so my notes, it's an incredible build. Paint job and the base really well executed. The only it's the rusting effects, the texture of this thing that's like been slapped together. It's like got the poster part the feel. It's all there. The execution is awesome. Now the only thing I would say is to your story, which is a very simple one. You know, it's patrolling, hunting down alien invaders. It's the alien invaders part that I would love to see. So you know, if it's hunting, so it's either like I'm thinking like ideas for how you could sell this idea as you could have like alien invader bodies at the back of the truck, you know, that it's killed already or hunted, Or you can have like, in some of these boulders or something, they have like, little alien kids hiding behind the rocks or something, just sell the story that, there's things like there's a subject matter, and then there's the hunter and the hunted. Show that off. That'll be like push the creativity even further. But otherwise, yeah, it's a really amazing build.
Armor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so the weathering is really like the thing that makes this thing stand out. Because clearly it's been built off a like, I'm guessing a toy truck, but like it's been weathered well enough that like you can't really tell, and that's like a big deal. Like being able to tell that, not being able to tell that it's just plastic. And I mean, repaint's great. Like there's a great use of texture, of dust effects. There's corrosion effects and rust effects. Like all that stuff's really good. I mean, yeah, I can't go much further without getting like sort of really nitpicky, so I'm not going to. But like it's very, very cool.
That rust effect is just so convincing. Like,
yeah, it's really good.
Beautifully done. Armor, have you said everything you want to say?
But pretty much. I mean, yeah. I mean So I mean, yeah, it's a very well done on the working from references as well. We haven't really touched on those, but like they've used the sort of like yeah, that's what's it called? A primer red
Tank.
from yeah, World War II armored vehicles. And how it rusts out along all the edges and stuff. That's all the like replication of that works really good. I think it looks cool.
Cool. So yeah, prepare yourself. So dear builder, I really like your idea. I I like that you went left when everybody kind of went right. Not that everybody went right, but I always appreciate this like crazy exception to things. Um, I do have some things that I want to mention because Jeff and Armor have mentioned the like extremely awesome work you've done with the weathering and all that stuff. Jeff touched on a bit of story stuff, and I want to get onto that a little bit more. For me personally, I do feel like specifically for this build, I needed a little bit more monsteriness for the truck. So maybe having like sharp teeth shape for the moving equipment in the front. Like I would have like for me, I feel like, and I want to be careful with how I say this because I think technically there's a lot of great stuff going on here. I just feel like this was a couple of hours, like maybe 8 hours away from being a monster. So I feel it could have used some rivets. I feel like it could have used some graffiti on it, like something that's like, no Xenus. I mean, no Xenos, you know, something like that written on it in like a white kind of chalky thing. I just feel like there's some descriptive monster elements that would have just made this pop out more as a monster, and on the base as well, like maybe some splats of the alien blood, and there could have been some of those splats on the actual vehicle as well, just to tell that story a bit more. I think the model build is fantastic. I think that when you look at it, it gets you to think. It feels post-apocalyptic, but when my imagination went a bit far, I was like, wait, hold on, but why am I not seeing like dyes, or anything on it? Like, why am I not seeing that kind of stuff? So that's where I'm sitting on with this. But again, outstanding build.
Aspect, yeah.
Outstanding photography well, as we've seen in this build off. We've seen some outstanding photography. So here's another one to add to it. And yeah, it's inspiring. I think this has put a spark in the head of other builders. Maybe they're gonna try crazy stuff like this on future build offs, and that's great.
Crazier stuff.
Crazier stuff. Yeah. Andromon. Jeff, tell us about Andromon.
Cool. Let me check my notes here. Cool. So yeah, nice kit bashing and modifications. that you've like done scratch building with the wires and all that. I don't know if you're gonna flip to the other
Yeah, I
page.
think gonna need to definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've done like screws, wires, and like mixed media and all that. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, so nice job on that. I would just say consider the story that you want to tell, and how would you like work the base and your pose to like enhance that story? Because at the moment, like you gave one sentence saying, our Aldramon is clutching to remove black gear. It's like, okay, but then what about it? Like, it's like a start of something, but we want to like see more. So think about that in the future, like in your next build. Think about like, that's why we say like come up with like try and three sentences to come up with a narrative. It gives your build in that direction, so you know what to build towards. Yeah. So yeah, that's my comments.
Cool. I'll let Armor close this off. Uh, I always love it when guys try to slap a bunch of putty and do kit bashing on these things. It's a skill that scares me. So when I see other guys brave enough to do it, it's always a little inspiring. So, dear builder, nicely done on going in that direction. You did take something. I can barely tell what made this. I know that there's a 30-minute something involved in here, um, but for the most part, I don't see that. And yeah, I think there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. Did feel the base was a little bit empty. Maybe it could have been a bit smaller. Um, just but I like what you did with the base. Like the flooring is a very cool texture. Um, and as Jeff said, the wires and screws. Just maybe fine tune a few things as you go forward. But I'm sure that your next build is going to be outstanding. Alma, take it away.
Um, so like I have to admit that like I managed to completely miss Digimon as like a childhood touchstone. So like I saw this and I was like, what
This
is
guy.
this? I can't tell. But I really like the kit bashing, and like this is the kind of thing I was imagining in my head when I first said like came up with like the monster theme. I mean, just kit bashing uh, various other gunpla kits into other like monstrous things, and like Digimon absolutely fits. That's great. And yeah, I mean, I think it's like really cool. Like we've already spoken about the kit bashing, and I think that's really where this thing shines and shows like the builders like skills and interests. And like this is really really cool. I like it.
Nice. Bravery. Whoa!
Ooh, yo, another kit bash.
Another kit bash. Jeff, you spoke first.
Cool. All right. Then let me quickly go flip through my notes here. Okay, so yeah, great and fun build. I can see the builder had like lots of imagination when you slapped all these like monster armor on top of it. But yeah, I would say only the shame is the mods, the modifications, and the paint jobs that you've done on the supporting actor, which is the dinosaur on the base. That pulled me away from the rest of the build like a little bit, because if we look at the follow-up, images, is that the dinosaur's like laying on its side, but there's a lack of gravity with its like that leg hovering in the air. So I know these like what is it, a vinyl a figure or whatever? It's like it's hard plastic, it's very tricky to like to modify it, slice it, to like put down its leg and that kind of thing. So I can understand. But the paint job though, you can totally go in and like paint it up, weather it up so it looks like more unified with the rest of the build. Like your main build is so well done. It's just like the supporting actor as part of a base that kind of distracted me a little bit. Let's see any other points. again, be mindful about the white balance of the photos. Try and keep them consistent. Yeah, because that creates a different mood. Like your main money shot that you've used is much warmer than your other uh, money shots. Not money shots, your flavor
Other
shots.
shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I echo Jeff's sentiments here. Outstanding build. I actually really like the Monster Hunter feel. I got that immediately without reading your descriptions, which I didn't read anyway. But I did see the word Monster Hunter in the corner of my eye. Um, so I got that immediately from this, and that was really great. So thank you, Boulder, for that. I love this three-eyed creature here. Still can't decide if that's something you scratch built or built, but it's part of the base. It's only it's part of the base. It's meant to like complement the piece. My only what what I struggled with on this is this character is leaning backwards, and I feel like it should be leaning forwards. And so that bugged me a little bit, and I don't know what is preventing you from making it lean forward. Maybe there's a technical constraint there with the kits or something. Um, but that was the only thing that kind of got to me. On an otherwise beautifully painted and outstanding kit. So cool. Now this is where Armor is going to tell us that Jeff and I are both wrong or something. Go for it,
uh,
Armor.
no, I mean, I think that so I can't say that this is so unfortunately with the angles of the photos. I can't tell if this is a true like resin pour or like water effect on the base. Like either way, it's really good. Like it
I
does
forgot
look
to
like
mention
ice
that.
that
Yeah.
the robot's
Yeah,
standing on, and
base is really
like
nice.
that is I know always like a nightmare to do. So good job on that one. Oh, there's a tiny little like fighter jet
Fighter jet.
Yeah,
crashed
the
on
jet.
the face as well. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It gives a sense of scale. Yeah,
So
like
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
like the base is really good. Like it's always so difficult to like get like multiple different like kits from like different places, like all of this like merged like feel like they're all part of the same scene. And I think like this is so close to like being there. Um like there's I mean there's little things like Jeff said, like the getting like if the leg was sort of like slumped down like so that it didn't unfortunately like it's very difficult not to see like a plastic dinosaur on its side. um
Yeah.
like it's and I look at and that's a pity because you've done so much work to like doing like the really cool like disemboweling effect. And then like the so if you'd use like snow I see you use snow effect underneath the like dinosaur to like hide its gap, and that like does look good. But something to think about is in a scene like this is that like snow would be falling across all of the things. So snow should be on the Jaeger as well.
Mm.
Um, and that collecting its upper surfaces or like in the crevices of its armor, and because it's so big, like that makes a lot more sense. And that might have tied the whole thing together a bit better. But like I think that it's really cool. The mods like work really well. I know it's really hard to get like mods to work like on like just get different kits to like fit together. Like and if there are seam lines, you've hidden them really well under the pieces. I mean, taking photos to hide your like mistakes is also a skill, and you're really good at them. If indeed there are like seams underneath things, maybe it's all perfect. And that's why I can't see anything. But no matter the reason, I think that this is awesome. Again,
I think in person, this is gonna look quite cool as well. Like
yeah,
I'm,
definitely.
I'm looking forward to seeing this in person. Um, just to add to what Armor's saying, I think with the leg thing, if you guys are scared of melting the dinosaur, then you'll probably be just as scared as cutting it up in half. But another solution would be to like cut a piece of it off, have it sit within diorama, and so the rest of it's there. So the person's imagination, the viewer's imagination, fills that in. The same way you would do half of a mountain or a building on a diorama. Sorry that
So you
we,
don't need to show, so you don't have to show
yeah,
the whole body. Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry that we're like hyper fixating on the dinosaur. Um, but I'm just also saying this more not to crucify what you've done here, but more a just to help people with how would we solve that problem.
Hmm.
Instead of just going, oh, something's wrong there. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
would we
think,
do?
you know,
Yeah,
the reason why we focused on the dinosaurs, like, you know, you've done such a great job on the main build. So yeah,
yeah.
trying to
Like,
give you like feedback that you can improve on. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the pics and stuff on the Discord so people can see them properly and see the goo on it as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's ripped out its guts. So nasty. Anyway, on to the next one. Armor, tell us about this. What are we seeing?
Well, to be honest, I
Hey,
couldn't
bro.
tell when I first saw this thing. Like, it's been so extensively modified that like it's really was difficult to like work out. But like this is, I mean, I'm still not sure if this is a real kit or if it's been like molded and then built off a kit, like because it's just been so consistently done and so well like finished. There are no seams, everything is cool, it's all really consistent. If like it is like, I mean, clearly a bunch of this has been sculpted or puttied, and it's all like really consistently done, right? Like you can't see any seams. Like the legs are the same size, same shape. That's good. And like this shot is like hilarious
Hmm.
with like some dudes about having just like the absolute worst day.
Yeah,
This thing is crawling out of the sea. Um,
yeah.
Also the paint job is like flipping cool.
Let's take it to the next one.
Um, like really nice fades, red to, yeah, the red to the blue to red. I mean, yeah, you got that little reference image of a blue crab. That's absolutely nailed.
That's awesome.
Um, like, uh, and yeah, I mean, I don't want to nitpick. Like again, like I guess, but this is Masters, because we have to nitpick. Okay, so if I was to give a little bit of nitpicking, I would say that while I love the base, it's super cool. I would like to see a little bit more like depth in the car. Unfortunately, like literally, it's like throw a shade wash over the car, because currently like it just stands out too much as being like too clean for the rest of the scene. And the dots on the like claws, um like I don't know, they should feel like organic enough, which is a super like nitpicky like
Hmm.
art like wanky thing to say, but it does feel like me like
They're not dotty enough.
that is, I don't know, like this is
Because
hard,
like
like
I
maybe you
think
need like
Armor, what you're saying is like there's not enough layers
yeah, like maybe
processed
there's
to
some
it.
variation in different color, like slightly different coloring.
Hmm.
So like there's a bit more sort of like organic variation in the thing, but like
Hmm.
as I said, this is super nitpicky stuff. Like this is like a really, really, really good piece. Like in terms of like the build and the kit bashing and the putty work, and I mean taking something which is still clearly a gunpla, but like turning the kit into a monster. Like good, 5 out of 5 stars. Like
Hmm.
yeah, followed the
Jeff.
instructions.
Understood
Yeah,
the
like
brief.
I feel this build, like they had such fun time working on it. Like it kind of makes me feel like similar to like the lying in wait and the specimen one, where they
Yeah, yeah,
took like a gunpla kit and then just like really monsterfied it. Um, yeah, I love like this story that it's like telling, with the, like, oh, the soldiers like, oh, it's a kaiju, and the other guy's like crawling out of the little camp. It's like, oh, you should gotta go. And so like the only thing I can add to this to like enhance it even more is
This guy.
consider like the physical textures that you want to convey to sell the scale of the monster. Like I feel like it's quite smooth, and I feel like a crab of this size, they would have more physical, like finer, like difference in texture. There's like, you know, in a joint you want it to be soft and like foldy, and especially by like the leg joints where it bends, you know, you want that to have those folds, just like in a real crab, right? But like the big chunky parts is like the armored shell, and I feel like those you would have like um, not so smooth, not just the texture, but also smooth in curvature. You would have like if you look at a real crab, there's like hard edges, especially when like there's an angle where the shell meets. There's like it's not all curves. There's a balance of curves and hard edges, contrast, and yeah, I think Paul wants to go to the reference of the real crab.
Yes,
Yeah.
just to help your argument.
Yeah.
Crab.
So like consider like the variety of soft curves, hard edges blended together, and like where there's like where you want the viewer's focal point to point towards, which is generally around the eyes, the head, the eyes, the mouth, especially the mouth for your piece because it's opening up. So you want more details, more contrast in shape, language around those areas. Yeah. Like look at a real crab's like mouth. There's like lots of mechanisms. And that's why whenever we see a crab, we like to look at its eyes. They like to poke out, and the yeah, all the mandibles and stuff. So consider the similar thing into your piece for a monster as well. But yeah, otherwise it's a really, really awesome build.
Dear builder, I I get you. I totally get you on this build. Um, Firstly, this thing is all about making monsters. You made
Mm.
monsters. You know, a kaiju was like an obvious choice for this, but ironically, not too many people went the kaiju direction. I also feel like this was intentional on your part, but there's a very 60s, 70s feel here that I really like. And I feel like that's conveyed in all the smooth surfaces because while Jeff is talking about all those details, and I agree with that, I've seen builds that have really used that richness of texture, sorry, and have built something crab based. Um, I've also seen it swing the other way around in the form of things like Sufubi and with other tokusatsu stuff. So I feel like you were owning this in like a lot of what you did here is intentional because the dots on the claws, I feel like you own this kind of 70s feel that was going on here with the tokusatsu kind of vibe. Also, this was very clever. The way that you did the curve here
If
on the base.
Yeah,
If I show everybody here
mm,
from the side,
absolutely.
like coming
I
up a
thought this,
hill.
yeah, very clever. Like it's the forced perspective came through nice. Yeah,
Mm.
it's great. I I enjoy this piece quite a lot. I had a lot of fun looking at this. I'm looking forward to seeing this in person. Um, it gave me a good chuckle because there's a fun little story here, and
Yeah.
that's a win.
And that I love in your reference, you drew your own like plan
Yes.
as well. So that's really, really awesome, you know. So guys, like take that into consideration. You know, if you can't find reference images, you can also like, you know, submit your plans, like sketch it out, you know, don't just go jump straight into a build, you know.
Yeah. I mean, but cool. I
Hmm.
also want to see what this looks like with a light blue background, as if it was like a clear day on the beach or
Mm.
something.
Yeah.
And maybe even like print out a bit of a horizon with the ocean or something behind it, because I think that could also look pretty cool.
Mm.
I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm just saying I'm keen to see what that would look like. And then we shoot some blue light from the back and some yellow light from the foreground. Anyway, on to the next one.
I'm curious on how heavy that big claw is. I don't know if it's like a solid claw or like a hollowed claw, because at the moment the posing looks very solid. So like I'm imagining, oh, it's quite a light claw, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I wonder if it's
Claw.
actually quite heavy.
The claw. Whoa, it's
Mm.
Thulu.
Mm.
Who's gonna talk to us about Thulu? Who's going
Yeah,
first?
do you want to start?
Me.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're already talking. Yeah.
So, okay. When I saw this, I was like, I saw the money shot, and I was like, wait, hold on. There's got to be. What am I missing? And then I saw this, and this, the back of it made me think of Thulu, and now I totally get this build. Okay. So this is a lot of fun. It's very clever. Got a lot of like sort of nods to Eldritch horror here. In this case, I feel like it's the Dunwich horror, which is pretty cool. The the this is scratch built. I think I saw something about sucker sticks, so that was a fun diorama to make to get the pieces or tongue depressors. It's one of the two. One of them is going to the hospital. The other one is getting ice cream. Anyway, um, yeah, this is well weathered, nice little creepy story. Uh, do like the little tweaks that this builder did, like adding these chains here at the bottom, which remind me a lot of Thulu's face tickles. Um, face tentacles. That's what I was trying to say. Conjunctions. They're funny things sometimes. The poured resin base for the water, the little hand there. That's cool. I don't blame the builder for this too much, but something that I struggle with Machine and Krieger as a base is that they can be obscenely awkward in their posing, and I think as builders, like sometimes when we're trying to tell like a bit of a horror narrative, we need to find ways to kind of break that a little bit, to break that posing, to help these kids have a bit more, you know, what's the word, narrative in their poses. Um, but that's not me quitting the pose. That's just saying that I think that's just a general challenge for us as
A
builders with
challenge for
machining
these
kits.
Machine and Krieger, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, thank you, builder. This was a lot of fun, solid build. Uh, love the Cthulhu. I don't. Maybe I'm making stuff up. Maybe I'm completely imagining things, and I'm
Where you
seeing
see the
something that's not
face at the
there.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Wow, that's
this
so
looks
sick.
like a
Mm,
Cthulhu
yeah.
or Cthulhu to me. So
Well, I
yeah.
mean, yeah, it's got the bulbous form of like a sea creature, right? Which is a very
Mm.
Kayokuyama like calling card, is putting on organic shapes into things and then putting military vents and plating around them.
Mm.
But yeah, I
So
mean, like definitely, yeah, I can see how you could. I mean, you can obviously see like these are very minor alterations, but they work really well. I think that like the builder has like done a really interesting thing in making the base portray some dynamic uh, uh, things about the model. I mean, like the fact that it's breaking the jetty simply by standing on it, like this thing's huge and heavy. It's obviously made
Mm.
out of like iron.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
it's giving it presence, which is
Mm.
important with such a like. I mean, as you said, like Mac kits are like a pain in the ass to like pose. They're really static, but like giving some dynamic part of the thing simply by having it the environment reacting to the thing
Yes,
like
yeah.
helps in that respect. Um, okay, I guess for like my round of like master entry nitpicks, I have some actually for this one. Is that while all of the weathering is good, like the weathering is really really good, but it is all really really even across the thing, and like that's not something that happens on real vehicles. Like vehicles get like they get messed up where they get moved or they get taken rub on things. So you always end up with like patterns of like damage. Um, so and this is something that bothers me because like I always look at this on models. Like whenever I see like really like weathered models, it's often the case that like because it's so easy to just like get into a rhythm and then just do the same thing over the
Left
whole
and
thing.
right,
Mm.
And like
left and
it
right.
looks fine.
Yeah.
Like this will not bother you unless you specifically like spend a lot of time looking at like construction vehicles, which is like, yeah, I don't know. It's like my hyperfixation is apparently looking at like trucks and like vehicles and seeing like where they realistically get damaged. But like,
Same,
You're in good
same
company.
here.
so that's all I can really say about it. Because other than that, like this is really cool, and I also really like the variation in color and the like yeah, I mean the pop of the teal on the tank is like really fun. And I don't know how much it glows without the UV torch that's clearly being shown on it, but like that is another nice pop of color on the back. Like I like that. Cool.
Yep.
Good.
So I pause to show off something.
No, I'm
Amen.
just we're just talking about damage, battle damage. Cool.
Armor, is that done?
Yeah,
eh?
that's all from me. Sorry.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
continuing from Armor, what Armor was saying, like, so yeah, it's a bit too symmetrical in terms of its like weathering treatments, like, you know, in terms of the paint chipping and the rusting effects. Yeah, like the left and right is very even. So yeah, it's a bit too universal, I feel. But otherwise, it's a very, very well like executed build. Otherwise, and your photography as well, it's like magazine level, and that's kind of what we like striving towards, I think.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't noticed.
Yeah, so yeah, you can see the layout very magazine like. So, you know, we do want to print these out in future, you know. So what you've done here, it's like the what you call it, like the golden standard. Hopefully that other people will like look at your photography and say, okay, this is what I want to, you know, aim towards. I love the sense of weight on the wooden platform snapping. You know, it's oftentimes when we look at plastic model kits, I think the base is like, oh, somebody just builds a base or whatever. But like when you can incorporate a sense of weight to it, that's like, it's a next level of awareness to your build. So really well done on that.
Toes in the sand.
Yeah. What I'd love to see though is the mate's the guy, the traitor's arm or hand. He's like, you know, stretching out of the water. It's like, oh, you know, like, and your narrative's like, oh, you know, does this guy like save him or just like let him die or whatever? I would love to see a little bit more of the like arm, because at the moment it's only the hand poking out. You know, what if it's like a bit of a forearm sticking out of the water as well? Like, I don't know if you had to like just didn't have a part, like, oh, you only had a hand to work with, but like, you know, through putty work you could build some kind of like a forearm or something, you know. So would love to see a little bit more clearer on that narrative, yeah, because it's a very like small detail that, you know, I know there's a high contrast between the dark water and the white gloves, so that does help it stick out. But like if we look at silhouette, the silhouette is like a very just a little hand poking out of the water. So yeah, yeah, so that's the only thing I think. Oh, actually, one last thing is like you talking about, okay, this is a guy treason that is on the run, you know, and so one thing I would love to see is like you have some kind of visual indicator to tie in that both units are kind of like on the same faction. So you could give them like the same um, decal, faction decal, or some kind of marking, just to say, okay, this guy, they are related to each other, but there's like a deeper story that intrigues the viewer. Saying, okay, what is the story going on here? Because without the unifying visuals, it could just be like, oh, it's an enemy, you know, and they don't care for each other. But here is what you've done in the story write-up is like, okay, there's a bit more emotional. It's like, oh, you know, this guy used to like, you know, be on the same side, but now it's like he's having a tough decision, you know, to let him, you know, save him or let him sink, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, a very minor comment. Yeah, but otherwise, well done.
Cool. Or a battler Dunbean. Yay. Or Dunbine.
Cool.
Depending on how you want to say it.
Very
Always
flashy
so
build.
cool.
Go for it, Armor.
Well, I mean, this one is like, yeah, it's just obviously it's paint job first, and like, this is crazy good. Like, I really, really, really love the paint job, and would be like absolutely like rooting through the builders like thoughts and like ideas or how they did this stuff. I mean, I don't know. There's like not much to say about like the paint job. Like immediately, it's just so good.
Yeah, I think they really studied the reference source material, which is like a beetle, really
yeah,
well.
no, they
They
absolutely
understood
did.
it's not just like a flat paint job, it's like multi like levels of execution to achieve this look, you know.
Yeah, there's lots of different fade across with clear colors. Like it's yeah, you're always trying to like simulate iridescence because iridescence is like basically impossible to do unless you've got like very specific like pigments. But like this is a really good like emulation of that, right? Like you it looks like a beetle should look. And like that's cool. Uh I think that like if anything lets this kit down, it's the fact that these Dunbean kits are so like old and stiff. Like you can't, with the best of intentions, it's so difficult to like repose them and do like something dynamic and like yeah, like that is I think like the only like thing that like is letting this down. Because other than that, like this is so good. Like the kit is like so good, like it's great. Like I really did look, but I couldn't find anything wrong with the build itself. Like it's just like really nice and smooth. All the surfaces, of course, have to be like very clean for this effect for the paint job to work. But like that was all done. So yeah.
Yeah, I love the beetle paint job on this. Aura Battler Dunbean stuff is supposed to have that kind of chitinous, like so kind of shell look to it, which is great. Um, the technique is well executed. The gloss coat painting is great. To your point, okay, so the posing is what it is, because of the challenge of the kit, and maybe something just for the builders, for all builders to consider is sometimes if you can't get the pose you want, then you have to mod the kit to get the pose you want. And with this, that's something I took into consideration when I did the scoring. I was like, this can't be posed further than this, but the builder hasn't modded it to enhance that pose, or at least not to a degree where I could see it. And so that's why the build wasn't like as strong as the paint mark was. Um, Also, that piece of driftwood that you've used for the base is beautiful. And actually, my only real thing with this kit is I feel like it would have been quite a bit stronger had the boulder added some things to the base just to give us a setting. I also, while it's nice to have a black background for the shot, and it definitely shows off the kit in its best way, this is one of those instances where I think having a more not this you didn't lose points because of this. I'm just saying to add to the story and creativity of the build, I think having some kind of a backdrop, even if it's a depth of field blur of the forest or
Like in nature,
something
yeah.
to bring it into an environment. Because right now by itself, it's just a very beautiful designed, taken out of, you know, space, but it's also yeah. But I don't want to like I'm kind of leaving too many hokey things. Just so that we're clear, amazing paint job, beautifully executed kit, very difficult. Like these older kits provide challenges like seams, which look like they've all been filled because I couldn't find any. And yeah, I think the only thing that would have taken it further is what I said about the backdrop and maybe adding some little quirks or tweaks to the base. Otherwise, this kit is going to look amazing in the studio. It's going to look amazing at an exhibition. Looks great in photographs. Jeff, take it away.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so continuing on what you said is like I personally feel like this is a beautiful piece. You know, it's I can see it just belongs in a gallery or in a nice home decor kind of thing, where like the execution on paint job is great. Though obviously we couldn't see much of a flaw with the build quality, so that's also like really awesome. But also at the same time, it's like, okay, I can see in your write-up there wasn't a story, and also I couldn't see a story from this build. Like, you know, Arma and Paul has mentioned, like there are challenges with the posing, but if you start off with a narrative, you can actually make it work without doing much posing. If I just use my Barbatos lupus here as an example, like it's like there's hardly any posing with this going on here. Like it's not extreme poses, but the subtle posing can still give a lot of like field to a build. And what I feel like is a bit of a shortcoming is like, okay, the base that you've used, the driftwood, looks beautiful. However, again, it wasn't like narratively telling us what's going on. So I feel that's the like shame thing about this build is like, like correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like, okay, you had fun just painting the kid as is, but you know, it wasn't like meant to like trying to tell a story or anything. And that's perfectly fine, you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
I
Yeah,
want to build a
just
done bean kit.
yeah. So again, well done on your build.
Cool. Next one. Don't think. There we go.
And that's
That's it.
all. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Good night, everybody.
Really,
I'm joking.
re-
I'm joking.
really impressive for the first build off of 2026.
Yeah.
Nice
So it's
benchmark.
setting the benchmark high. Hey?
And whoa, somebody's joined us, follows us.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you everybody for the amazing builds. Everybody we got here. Let's get to the podiums. Let's see who takes home the chicken dinner.
Okay.
Third place.
Starting
Third place.
in beginner build.
Yes. Shiny Ryolu by Green Onion. Congratulations, Green Onion.
Congratulations, my dude. Yay.
Sweet. Next one is Calamara. The Abyssal Siren by Warned Cord 1998. Hey, you're a new
Nice.
builder as well. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats,
And
buddy.
in first place, ladies and gentlemen, can anybody tell me in the chat who you think it is? And here we go. Boom. Barbatos
Barbatos.
Dominus by
Yeah.
Shinobi. Yeah.
It's really
Wow.
cool.
Well done, guys.
Congratulations, Shinobi.
No, it's good. All good.
Yeah. Yeah, well deserved. Beautiful build. Inspiring diorama. All good stuff. Everybody, let's throw the guy some high fives. Let's throw some Shinobi some ninja hands. Cool. And
Love it.
let's get to the podium finish. Yes. Wealth and glory
Nice
to
one,
the
guys.
winners of the beginner category build. Whoa.
Cool.
What? I thought we would have an introduction to intermediate, but third place for intermediate is Heavenfall Cut.
Get into it.
So
Oh.
yeah, we all enjoyed this. You know? It was
nicely done, hey?
Yeah, nice clean build. You guys may have mentioned that we didn't mention anything about weathering on this, but I think it's because the very clean nature of the shot didn't require weathering, and felt that the builder owned this well. So yes, looking forward to seeing this in person. Very, very cool. Congratulations. No face, because you have no face. Cool.
Earned lots of
And
face.
second place is boom. Singwin. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Good
Second
job.
place.
A
I was
horrible
wondering who
horse.
built that. Like, oh, very cool. Nasty. And first place, drum roll.
Let's go.
Lying
Yo,
in
lying
Wait.
wait.
Yes, by Legacy ZA. Very,
Nice one,
very nice.
dude. Yo,
Nice
God
one.
damn.
well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very, very
congratulations.
impressive.
You're
Yeah,
going.
we were like, it's like, oh, should we push this guy to masters?
Yeah. Sorry, dude. You're going straight into masters for the next
Yeah.
one.
Well, that goes for all the top 3 people. You'll be like in the next competition, you'll be going into the higher rank. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you really don't want to,
Hmm.
but where's the
Yeah,
fun in
but
that?
we encourage you. We feel like you guys are, at that level.
Yeah. You've earned it. It's your special place. But
Mhm.
Legacy ZA, congratulations. And here's the podium. Pale Charger, lying in wait, Heavenfall cut in third place. So, guys, something that is very important to mention here. This was really hard to score.
Yeah.
So, I know I say this a lot, but it is very true of this. Some of these builds are separated by zero point 0.5 in terms of points.
Yeah.
It's usually the difference between second, third, and fourth that is very close to each other. In this case, it was first, second, third, and fourth. So if you don't see a build on the podium, your build is not lame. Your build is amazing. Just maybe didn't score enough points for this. You've heard us gush over your build. You know what we think. So cool. Again, reminder to celebrate the fact that you finished something. Okay, Jeff,
Hmm.
am I going to go into third place straight here for Masters, or
Yeah.
am I going to
So
get intro
third
card?
place for masters. Yeah.
I was not expecting that. Third place for the Masters, humans in the chat and alien disguised humans. Am I building enough tension? Are you guys swearing at me? Are you throwing chips at your screen? I hope so. I will move now. Third place goes to Bam! Kybra Chion.
Crab.
Crabbies. Crab people. Giant crab people.
Taste like crab, look like people, or
Hmm.
something like that.
The 2 soldiers in a car in a little campsite like add so much to this build. Hey.
I love it.
Yeah.
Foreground elements all the
Hmm.
way. And force perspective, why not? Cool. Congratulations, Fluffy Llama 95.
Oh, cool.
Congrats.
Yeah, that's who
Nice.
built this.
Hmm.
I'm also like, I actually, no. I had a feeling it might have been it had that style, but anyway.
Hmm.
Next one goes to Thulu
Yo,
by
Zenu.
Xenu.
Yo.
Ah,
Man, this is such an awesome build, man. Yeah.
it really is. It is a cool build. I still love its back more than its front. I really do. I think it looks so good from the back.
I really love the 666 decals
Me
on
too.
the skirts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clever.
it's satanistis. I like it. No, I'm
Yeah.
joking.
And all the decals and stuff on it as well.
Adios.
Mm.
Nice little Vasky reference for aliens there.
Hmm.
When I push this button, we're going to reveal the first. And I want everybody in the chat, I want us to take 10 seconds for Jeff, Armor, and myself just to stretch. And for you guys to quickly tell us who you think came in first place in the chat.
Or who's your favorite,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think is first place? And then who is your
First place in
favorite?
your heart.
So just stretching, redeeming my stretch. Okay, my body's very sore. Training has been quite rough these last 2 weeks. Okay, cool. Are we ready? Jeff,
Yeah.
how the chat's looking? Are they filling up with some
Yeah, they're
speculation?
clapping and final boss. Yeah.
Oh, ticked up.
Final
Some
boss
people.
Yeah,
in
lots of
2,
congrats and very cool.
1, boom.
Let's go.
First place goes to Marauder by
Yo,
her
dad.
dad.
Big truck.
Yo,
Big truck.
awesome job, dude. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, like
very
if seeing
interesting
this
that we
photo, I
got
wouldn't
you.
even imagine it's like plastic. It just looks like it's like a real vehicle, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got those. Um, I don't know how we got here, but this is how we got here. This is why having three judges is awesome. We all give our scores, we
Yeah.
give our
But
points, there's get totaled out and averaged, and here we go.
yeah.
So
The like the last few top placements, they were like just decimals
yeah,
of each other. So
yeah,
it's super close.
it was intense. It was intense. I love the outcome. I don't know. Are you guys happy with the outcome?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm just checking, guys, because glitches can happen. Just now, you know, just now. But anyway, this is fantastic build. Congratulations to Dad. Let's get to the podium. Third place, Kybrachian. Second place, Thulu. First place, Marauder.
Good.
I'm getting echo in my head, so it's like I'm having way too much fun with that.
The Cabron Kion or whatever how you pronounce it. It's like ah.
I love it. So happy. Yeah. I like I said, I want to see it with a blue backdrop. I think that'll be very cool. Congratulations, guys. Um, you've won an all expenses paid trip to Hawaii. I'm kidding.
Hope you don't meet a giant crab on the way.
But yeah, wealth and glory to the winners. Nicely
Yeah.
done. And thank you for
Okay.
the inspiration. I
We're
feel
not
very
done
inspired
just
by you.
yet, hey? We're
No,
not
I
done.
know that. I'm
Yeah.
just, just want to wrap us up to this point. And then something happens when I press the button. Let's see.
Yeah. So we've got
Ooh.
spotlights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is almost spotlight. Yay.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk a little bit more about like the ones that like just like we each picked a model and we wanted to sort of like to say like which one is like one of our personal favorites from the thing that didn't win because like my personal favorite was the I mean one of the ones who won, so I'm not going to go back over that already because they're going to have plenty of accolades, but like this is just so cool. Like I think that this really like there were only a couple of pieces in here which sort of like spoke to sort of like choosing to do something as an artwork piece. And I mean, obviously the work from Pluto is like spectacular. It's probably one of the like best comics of the 20th century.
I agree with you there.
And like this is an excellent like rendition of that. Picking Evangelion is like inspired. I mean, obviously, like Eva's like lend themselves to that sort of posing, and you haven't done much to the model, but like what you have done is like really smart to like bring out that like ragged, like damaged look. And yeah, I mean, I think that this is just so cool and so clever. Like, um, I mean, I don't know. Like I've said it all before. Like it's just like really cool. Like I've also got like a friend who's like Evangelion and Pluto are like his two favorite things. So I'm like really excited to show him this
Oh, cool.
after
Oh,
like once
cool.
everything's shared publicly. Um, yeah, I mean, and I think that like the base, like it just like also just worked into the whole like story of the thing. Like it just not everything has to be at the same scale. I think that this like works like because it's scaleless to some extent. It's really just like presenting the feeling, the emotion that you're trying to like reproduce, and like that was you nailed it. It was great. Um,
Cool.
yeah,
Awesome.
I've just gushed, I guess, like that. But I
Yeah,
have
I just
nothing
want to
more.
make sure you're okay. I was
That's
worried
it's
that
all
you were
it's
like,
all empty now. You can go ahead. But like
okay.
that's sort of like I was just like, I love this. It's so cool.
Awesome.
And I'm sure
Sweet.
Revan really appreciates you gushing over the build as well. So
Yeah.
nice. Whose
Cool.
spotlight is next?
Nice.
Oh
Mine.
Lord,
Yeah.
it's Jeff's one.
Yeah. So yeah, well done, Jacques. This is a really impressive photography that you've done. So, yeah, like pat yourself on the back. You know, it's quite inspiring. I think, like all of us, not just the other builders in the BuildOff, but also like for myself, just so we can be more creative with our lighting,
Yeah,
lighting is a very powerful tool that is like many times we kind of like think it as an afterthought, but what you've done with your lighting setup, we saw your turnarounds. It's a very like drastic difference, the mood that you created just by lighting, and obviously composition. So
and the triangle, depth of field and or aperture, should I say.
well done.
And yeah, Jockey, uh, I feel like this is special in that I remember when you were taking photos with a flash, you know. So, like I know, and I mean, it shows you we all grow if we put in the effort, and yeah, it's awesome to see this. And on to the next one, which I imagine is my spotlight. Jeez, I can't
your
even remember.
spotlight.
Who did I choose? I chose the Aura Battler Dunbean. Why?
Oh,
Because this is really beautifully
beautiful.
painted. Never mind, never mind the cool effect, with the patterning. Just getting a kit to be uniformly gloss and to do a candy coat in general it's a very simple process. It's very difficult to execute. There's all, especially if you own like cats, because always hair in the way. So you have to kind of spray a little bit of water in the air, weigh things down. I know, at least that's like when I see this kit, I just see a lot of effort that went into making this awesome. And maybe it's just a thing. I love Aura Battler Dunbean. So anybody who went as far as to go and get their hands on this kit and then enter it into a competition, yeah, it got my spotlight immediately. So and I see it's Xenu. So I
and
had a feeling, but
like, props to you to enter two builds into the BuildOff, so
yeah. Oh well, the man cooks. Don't get in his way. So,
So that's an open invitation for everybody else as well. Like if you finish your build and you still have time, then hey, by all means, feel welcome to enter another one.
Exactly. Congratulations to our spotlights. Um, Jeff, we're still going to do a community choice as
Yes,
well, aren't we?
So
Yes.
after the podcast, give me a bit of time. I'll set up like the polls. Where you guys have 24 hours to cast your vote. There's three kind of prizes that you guys can vote for. So let me just check. So it's like your favorite new builder. So obviously it's for people that have like first time entering into a BuildOff. That will be in the choices. There's the coolest posed and your favorite concept. So those three. Yeah. So guys, like, take your time and cast your vote. Yeah. Cool. But after this, again, I'll post all our slides. And sorry to the Goof Custom Builder, like the link was broken because I actually moved the folder where the images were. So yeah, I actually have done a proper export, and then you guys can see like in its glory and its grossness, goriness.
For for the builder of that goof, please rest
Goof
assured
Custom,
Jeff will be getting 1,000 lashes to his nuts
yeah.
for said mistake.
So that's what I get for not double checking properly after my export. But yeah, with that being said, everybody that has entered into the BuildOff, please like now share your work in progress photos or your thinking behind your build, like how you did certain things. Even your like finished photos, like share them, please. We'd love to see all the photos because obviously previously you guys have been holding it back. To not to ruin the surprise.
And
with the Zaku.
guys, thank you so much. Just thank you so much for the outstanding and inspiring builds. Armor, thank you for the cool topic, bud. Or for the cool, theme, and for the time you took to put into the judging or scoring, and for joining us here on the Build Meet or Build Off celebration. So that was
Yeah,
really cool of you.
I'm just glad that everyone sort
Yeah,
of
thank
like took the theme to heart and like came up with like a
Mm.
really cool like spread of like inspired things from it. Like
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
super
Yeah,
cool
it's
entries.
really inspiring, yeah.
And special thanks to Jeff as well for laying out all the images to make it a really nice visual experience for everybody.
Mm.
Guys, please never underestimate that. It is it is a it is an accomplishment, and very chuffed with what Jeff did there. So I get to say thank you to you for that, and I'll just
Thank
thank myself for breathing. Thank you, Paul, for breathing.
you.
I
Thank you
couldn't
for
do
handling
it
all the
without you.
slides and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the stream, the
No.
stream master.
But thank you guys. That was incredible. Congratulations again to the winners, and have a most excellent long
Easter long
weekend.
weekend.
And
Yeah.
we
Hope you
will
guys are
see
building
you
something cool.
and your builds at our next build meet. And
Yes.
remember, at the Nexus, to time code this, there is a Geeks at Work um, exhibition that's happening at the Nexus on Saturday. So
Yeah,
come check that
event.
out.
Hmm.
Cool, an
Yes.
event.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then looking forward to our next build meet on the 8th, not 11th of April. Yeah, looking forward to seeing all your
Skaden
build
B.
offs. What?
No, just the one guy's profile name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Good, good night, everybody. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adieu. Au revoir.
Night,
Alma, thank
everyone.
you so much. Do you have something that you want to like smash into the camera? Oh, and obviously, congrats to her dad for winning first place. That means, yeah, you're gonna be the guest judge for the next build off, and you're gonna help us choose a theme, hey?
Ha! You fool!
You fell
What
for
did
my
you have,
trap
Alma?
card. Keep building
Huh?
joy
Oh,
after
yeah,
being
keep
good to
building
yourselves
joy.
and each other.
Yeah.
I was waiting on the like he was holding a figurine, but no, I
There
couldn't
we
see.
go.
What is that?
Dragon.
What is that? Oh, the dragon near night thing. Yeah.
Yeah.